tell the woman to grace the bed with all the beauty and stuff. But it breaks my heart to tell you I love you because you're just a lot too different. See, independent woman for who you are, you're just too perfect. Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough. Because if I tell you to move to the kitchen, you might just show me the way to KFC or the Burger King. If I tell you to do the laundry, you might show me the way to one laundry factory I may not afford. So see, it breaks my heart to tell you I love you. But in as much as I just want to say something else, hey, I want to keep breaking my heart every time I tell you I love you because I want to be the count of the stars up in the skies. So it breaks my heart to tell you I love you.
Charlie, how about that for a start? I beg that last line, that last line, man, that last line of affirmation of your love for whoever that is or that was.
So the line is, it breaks my heart to tell you I love you, but I want to be the count of the stars up in the sky. So I'm going to do it a million more times and tell you I love you and still stay with you now. Yeah.
Charlie, love hurts sometimes, you know, and and he's made a commitment and agreed with his body, soul, and spirit that regardless of how bad it hurts, how hard it gets, he's still going to say, I love you. Even if Charlie puts an arrow into his heart. Man. That was a beautiful piece. Yes. And I couldn't agree more with Itlin, who says, wow, yes. That was super amazing from Diamond. And please don't forget to use the chat box, pouring love on the Talk Party. It's nothing but love. Or don't call, you understand? Yes. Wow, Charlie. So tell me what inspired this piece. Is it born out of a personal experience or one of your wild thoughts?
Well, wild thoughts are still emanated from basically personal experiences. Sometimes probably the emotion is not a problem, but saying it becomes a problem because it kind of costs too much. We've said I love you a couple of times and we've realized that it costs too much, way more than we can afford. So basically I just mixed it up with a couple of social issues and then I brought that up. That is actually not so much written, so I had to run through a freestyle basically. Yeah, so that's it.
Wow. And Nasam says interesting, great piece. Then Charlie, I couldn't agree more. Super great piece from Diamond. Those very unassuming, but then Charlie. So tell us, how did you get into poetry? Because having known your family for quite some time, I've seen the progression, I've seen the evolution, I've seen how you personally have evolved. You you came across as one who was just supporting your brother Jewel, both you and Royal. But some I don't know what happened. Some cosmic reaction, whatever. But I realized that there was a rub on you two also, and Charlie, and the spark that you guys come with too much fire. Tell me how it's done for you.
Okay, so the poetry journey, I guess at a point not so long ago, but at a point I realized it was just inborn. We started writing when I was in JHS 1. Yeah, that was way back in JHS. We started writing short quotes and poems. My favorite quote back then was, we don't smile because we're happy, but we're happy because we smile. I wrote that just about either JHS 1 or JHS 2. Yeah. And so that's how long I was writing. But I saw a video on TV and poetry was being presented on a different scale. It was much lively and nicer. But I never knew what it was called. I never knew that was spoken word until my big brother Jewel came back from the uni and then he introduced me to it. Then I realized that is what I had saw and then had interest in it. So basically, about half of my life now, I've been writing, but zooming into spoken word was just about 2014. Yeah, zooming really into spoken word was just about 2014, and I've loved it. Yeah, I've really loved it.
Wow, nice, interesting. And how has your connection with Ehalakasa been? You were on the Talk Party last Last week. Was last week? No. Or last week's?
Yeah,
last week it was. Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
And Charlie, truly phenomenal with your styling, with your content. Yeah, Charlie. And so tell us how your experience with Ehalakasa has been and how that has affected you as an artist and also personally.
Okay. So basically, Ehalakasa has been a beautiful family. Um, I saw a couple of the shows back then at Nubuke, and then during the either 2015 or 16 Poetry Slam, the finals. Yeah. So I had attended a couple shows way back through Dubois Center and all of that. But then
the slam you're talking about, which artists were which of those slams?
The one Jewel King won.
2015, you said?
Yeah, Jewel was on, Amaze was on, Lead the
Poet.
Poet.
Yeah.
So I just loved it. And every time more I would listen and watch and just work at home, try to build myself. I'd used a couple stages and platforms, perform social pieces, but basically not in that environment where it was full of poets and then you just kind of reveal who you are. So the Halakasa, that is, I did the one piece during the was open mic that is in November last year, and then I was on for December, and it was beautiful. And then so yeah, Halakasa watching from far and then observing all the arts. Sometimes I miss most of them, and then I ask about them. It has really groomed and built me. And Sir Black is always there. Sir Black is always there. He would always ask, "What are you doing? When are you coming up?" And also, yeah, it's been very beautiful.
Oh, nice, Charlie. It's refreshing to hear that from you, Charlie. And so before we move on to your second piece, let me say special salutes to Ohima Makida joining us, the one with the most consistent, I must say. Akwaba Ohima. All right, and a few more. So piece.
Okay, so this is also another story. Hey, let's do a little laughter now. I don't want no one tearing. Let's do a little laughter. All right, so let's get into it. It doesn't hurt to fall in love, but it hurts when the choices seem just a little wrong. You see, far, far away, once upon a time in a little distant land, a fine gentleman falls in love with just too beautiful a maiden. See, they say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Basically, it's subjective, but I guess I saw through the eyes of this gentleman and I say that she's the most beautiful thing on the face of the earth. And then the relationship moves on. He practically snatched her from another man because that's how much he loved her. All he wanted was to live with her the rest of his life. And then there is chaos. See, this boy is just not having so much money, and the lady's mom doesn't like him so much. And the lady's mom gets into the relationship and says she should go back to her ex because he's so much filled with money. And then they fight on. He had witnessed one time when the lady's dad just sent someone to court and then to prison just for something so menial, and he was super scared of them. Putting thoughts together one night, she texts him and says, "I think I'm pregnant." See, amidst the chaos going on, how can you be pregnant? Basically, how can you be pregnant for me? And then he sends her money to get a test kit, pregnancy actually. First, second, third, fourth, fifth seed, number probably to 1,000, even infinity. And they were all confirmative. She was just pregnant. And it hurts. She wouldn't keep the baby because she was scared what her mom would do. To him, if he was supposed to be selfish, then he would force her to keep the baby because that is basically what would make him keep her forever. He didn't even have what it took to abort the child, but he had to borrow. And then they booked an appointment at a health facility. May 31, they were supposed to see the doctor. The procedure was successful, and the information and instruction was simple. You take these drugs at this particular time. If you feel excessive pain, just give us a call. That was all the lady at the counter told them. Picked up the drugs and they were gone. You see, being a gentleman, he decided to order a cab, at least a smooth ride from the health facility way back home. And then suddenly, just about when they had drove about 10 minutes from the hospital, she begins to complain of abdominal ache. Then he says, maybe it's just the procedure, just take one of the painkillers and just rest your head on my shoulder. So she rests his head on her shoulder, and then he shrugs her on the shoulder like that and begins to sing a solemn song. Now, from breathing heavily to breathing a little slower, she fell into sleep. And then, as she fell asleep, she breathed a little silently, quite silently. And then the driver was just moving on. And it was a beautiful ride because she was just sleeping. A few blocks from the house, and he tells the driver, can you please pull up over there? And then he begins to pat her shoulders and call her and says, hey, we're home. Wake up now. And then she's not responding. And he shakes her a little vigorously and says, we're home. Wake up now. And she's not responding. He tends to look at her, and she wasn't just breathing slowly, but she wasn't breathing no longer. Her blue jeans soaked red with blood, and she was gone. Now he's stuck in the cab right in front of her house. The driver needs them to get down, and he has a dead body lying beautifully resting on his shoulders. He just doesn't know what to do. But then he's with a cop in a cab, just in the back seat, and he's super lost. Tragedy.
Tragic. Charlie. This is one of the pieces that could just mess you up, like mess you up just like that. See how it was. It's hard to call it beautiful when it ends. Charlie, in such tragedy, man. Wow. Yes, Itling. You are there, you know, right? Wow, Charlie. A very sad piece it was, a very gloomy piece, beautiful story, in spite of the ending and all, and carries a lot of lessons and all that. Still beautiful. Yes, nice sad piece. The exact words for this particular piece, Charlie. and I noticed aside your poetry, you're also a story, you're more like a storyteller. You tell stories more with your art. So how do you like to describe yourself? More as a storytelling poet, a storyteller, a poet, or a combination of both? What? Tell me, bro. But before that, let me say, I'm Kwaba to Fumwa. Yes, Fumwa just joining us. Phenomenal member of the family. Also, Akwaba to Ekia Golden. Yes, we miss you too. And we are glad you joined us tonight. And also Richmond Danso, Akwaba. And also Abutre Patience. If you hear Patience, I beg, it's not a girl, it's a boy. Thank you very much. For those of you who might be, yeah, man. All right. So the show continues. So, bro, tell me, like, how do you describe yourself as an artist?
You know, frankly, this is super one question I asked myself for long, because I realized that from the way I wrote spoken word, it was basically storytelling. So I actually had to be learning from Jewel and Royal and every other poet I saw out there to write more of rhythm stuff. Sorry about that. So I actually searched and I realized that poetry has one of the forms as being storytelling. So basically, apart from being rhythmic, I can say that I'm actually a storyteller because it's also one of the forms of poetry writing. Yeah. So that's it.
Wow. Nice. All right, Charlie. So a few more just joining, and they would like to have a slice of your cake. So if you can please serve us the third piece.
Okay. You see, it's time for another story. He's a fine gentleman, and he's married. 15 years and no child, and it hurts. You see, beyond all the societal pressure and everything, he's just worried. 15 years of marriage without a child. It's not as though he just went messing up all his life with other women. They were friends from childhood, kept no secret apart from the other. She was 17 and he 19 when they got married. Quite a brilliant background, affluent. They had money to take care of themselves. Too young to have messed up too much. So 15 years of marriage without a child was a little worrying. Then he prayed. He would pray every night and she would plan every day. See, she planned for the night whilst he prayed because she thought, if I give him something beautiful in bed, his prayers would coincide with my plans, and PP, we could have a pregnancy, another P. And then it goes on. He probably got something to wait for the opportune moment, and so suddenly there was pregnancy and the baby. A child too ripe to be a boy, too perfect to be human. He could actually glance into your eyes with his whitest piercing eyes and just steal the devil out of you just so he could plant salvation in you and win you for Christ. That's how much perfect a figure the son was. After 15 years of marriage and then such a perfect gift from God, it was beautiful. They taught him everything right and gave him everything right, but suddenly he grew up to be a delinquent, lost out of societal norms, and everyone would just complain. The mom and dad just knew two things: the Bible and the good books in school. Beyond that, they'll teach you every nice thing. So how come you just chose all those vices in society? And then he fled home. He was just about the age his dad was when he got married, 19. Of course, he was prime and he was right. Then he formed a gang, robbing households and institutions and companies and banks. Just like praying for a son, Papa would always kneel by the bed and pray. Says, God, I prayed so much for this. Why would you just give me this? So I'm praying still about it because I know that I'm going to pray about it forever. But do you just fix this one for me? And one day, as he said the prayers, his wife calls from the hall. Honey, come have a look at something. He rushes to the hall and as the pump action of his son's gang against the police just about the capital. They had robbed the bank and the police were all after them. Just the streets separating them and a couple cars serving as blockages. Bullets flying to and fro, others straying and hitting passers-by. It was deadly. He smites his chest and picks his car keys. Well, not too far a ride though, and then he's almost at the scene. And he says, Dear God, you saved my son and you gave him salvation. That's all I've ever prayed. And if you may, take mine, because I gave mine for my son. And then he drives to the place. To him, if he saw his son, just the fear and love his son had for him, even beyond his messed up issues, would tone him down and get him to surrender. So he pulls over and steps out of the car and begins to shout, son, son. You know, it's funny, just like blind Bartimaeus shouting out to call for Christ even amidst the chaos. He thought the son would hear him amidst all the bullets flying by and the sounds of gunshots. And then he begins to rush towards the scene. Let's calculate, let's use pi r squared, maybe add an h or a v something to calculate the very distance from which he ran toward the scene. But then when he was too close, just a little too early, his son sees him. But then not so early, this time a little late because he had still moved a little into the scene. Just before the son could shout a halt for his gang to stop shooting because he had seen that one man who loved him so much. One idiot from his gang had just pulled the trigger of his gun, and the bullet strayed and ran right through his chest. He falls right in the middle of the chaos. Of course, his prayers were answered. Says, God, if you could take my life and spare that of my son and give him salvation. So he paid with his life as a price. And he laid in a pool of blood as his son watched from afar. Of course, salvation came at the cost of his life.
Charlie, did you just take us to the cinema or what? Man, see, you should be writing scripts for movies. No joke. No joke. Tell me something, Charlie. I'm just curious. If I were to ask you to perform this piece again, are you going to do it exactly? How do you put all this thing in your head? Do you just have the story and then you just move through that space, or you word for word you memorize? This one between you and I, Charlie. Everybody for closing ears.
So basically, storytelling comes with, for me, comes a little differently. I script down the story. I script the story. Basically, the in literature we have something called the rising, the climax, and then the fall. So I kind of plan that, and then I just decide to roll it out when I perform. Now, this is one thing my audience probably haven't known, but as much as they feel the pain of the writing, I do feel same, because sometimes the stories are actually more relatable to me. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate aspect of it. So yeah, it's I just have the story. Recital might not be the same words, but emotions would always be same, because I kind of really firsthand feel the impact of the stories. Yeah.
Yes, I noticed. I noticed from the second piece. Yes, the second piece, how I realized it really got to you, Charlie. But trust me, you're amazing. Your pieces are captivating. It just takes you there. So I couldn't agree more. Was it Dan who said, you know really how to get an audience attentive? Yes, and that was truly beautiful. Beautiful. No joke. So I agree with Italy as well. All right, nice. Charlie, some just joining. So let's move on straight to the fourth piece tonight. We are going sharp like that. But trust me, if you just joined, we have Diamond, and just as his name suggests, it's truly a pearl, like no joke. It's truly a gem. All right, thank you so much, bro. And so please serve us your fourth piece.
Okay. Probably subsequently I might twist from a low storytelling though, but let's probably have our last story. It didn't hurt so much to ask. She said, "Would you marry me?" And quite ironically, she was the one who posed the question. He looked back at himself and began running through his mind, catching a couple memories. Mama told him never to take advantage of a woman. And reality is, you laugh so hard and you never let go of anything. You see, for him, it would be better if he asked her to marry him, because then that would be a man's job. And then fast forward back to the present again. He smiles and says, let's do it another time. And she's heartbroken, but she doesn't understand. Because to him, he's planning the most beautiful presentation of what love and proposal is. But it hurt her, and he never knew. And then a couple of weeks, she hears nothing about marriage, but they're still together. This is not about a 2 3 year talk about even a 1 year long relationship. This is just about a simple 6 months, and we're talking about marriage. The two amateurs in love could sometimes be very crazy. Let's just call them Kwabena and Abna. They simply agreed just because they were born on the same day. Maybe, just maybe, we just don't know. And all this whilst he's saying nothing, he's only saving so much. But then, unfortunately, just like the story of an emergency wedding, it was part of her long list of teenage plans to be married at 22. And that was just in 6 months' time. That is how long their relationship had lasted. If he said, I do that moment, then they would plan it out in 6 months. But then he doesn't. He wastes 6 good months just planning something else. And then he calls her out. Can you simply meet me at this location? And she says, why? But he says, don't worry. When we meet, I'm going to tell you a story. They had gone out a million times, and so to her, it was nothing new. Now she came, she carried along a simple gift for him. He had saved so much to actually buy a perfect ring, just about the expense of what his dad got for his mom, because he just wanted to be a perfect man as his dad. But to her, her list of goals are so important, if only she could understand. She gets to the place and is blindfolded and then ushered in by a waitress. Takes the mask off and she's surrounded by flowers, music, and beauty. He goes down on one knee like the knight in shining armor and says solemnly, Abna, if I be your Kwabena forever, would you marry me? But then that was just a premonition. Actually, before he knelt down on his knees, he had just pictured this that Abna would say yes. But then just about when he was going down on one knee, Abna says, what is all of this? Why do we have so much beautiful stuff here? But anyways, yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time. I have a gift for you. She reaches out from the bag that hangs on her side. She didn't even sit. Picks out a gift for him. And he says, beyond everything, beyond you being by my side, you're the best friend I've ever known. And we promise not to keep anything from each other. So I would never want to keep this from you. And it might be the most important moment in my life. And I'd always want you there. I'm getting married on my birthday. And so I'm inviting you. At the moment she's talking, he's already down on one knee. And instead of picking the ring and presenting, he's just in tears. She looks at him and says, I hope you'll be there. And he says, for as much as I love you, I'll be there for you. But I understand that you broke my heart even on this day.
Charlie, no comments on this one. No comments, Charlie. That was a very sad piece. Why today? Should that way you come see? You can't make me sad or what? Or what? On a nice weekend like this, where we can't have party, you just come mess me up, man. Charlie, I had a beautiful one. Charlie. So let me say salutes to my brothers Nana Yoichi and also Nana Kufuor. Two Nanes, but Nana Kufuor, Charlie, dragon poet. Don't joke. You see Nana Kufuor on stage, man, fire. We'll have him soon on this. Okay, we've had him before, but we'll have him again. For those of you who might have missed him. But that was Charlie, that was epic. Beautiful. So let me quickly read a few comments. I want us to move fast tonight. We are going to end the show quite earlier than normal, start to say, but then because we're having so much fun in sadness. Yes. It's so enjoyable. So before I read the comments, let me have another one. However, I wanted to put somebody on the spot. Idlin, can you unmute and let's vibe some, I beg?
Good.
I beg.
Yes.
Idlin.
Wait, so you want somebody to just drop dead like that?
Yes, just like that. Because today is a sad, it's a sad party. So it's a party for the sad boys. Sad boys party.
Natty, allow me personally apologize to Itlin. Itlin, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry for making everyone sad.
So all these movies are about just you and Itlin.
Oh my God.
Well, I'll be writing this before I met Itlin. Yeah, I'll be writing this.
Oh, okay. I see the moon.
wait till you see, because I'm not seeing anything.
I don't see anything right now. I want to make you serve us something. Give us something. Give us a slice of you, a piece of you, a piece of your awesome self. For those of you who don't know Itlin, you're about to witness just a little piece of her. We'll have it on the show fully soon. All right. So Itlin, the floor is yours. The stage is yours. The party is yours.
I'm sorry, please. What am I supposed to do? Because I wasn't informed about this.
I know you sing and you do poetry too, so we'll serve us any of that. Special dedication to Diamond. Thank you very much.
Pressure.
Oh my God. All right. It's such an honor to be here, and this is such a shock to me. Please, if you hear anything in the background, don't shout. Just take it as it comes. So I'm gonna sing a song, probably. I wish I could play the keyboard, so I'd accompany that with it. The piece I wrote, inspired by my son. So I hope you all enjoy it. It's titled "You Are Who You Are." I mean, in a world where there's so much chaos and, trying to figure out where we stand or who we are, it's very important that we keep a cool mind and we always remind ourselves, who we truly are, how special we are. So that's what the song is all about. Life comes with hurdles and many surprises. Don't let the pain weigh you down. See the joy in living and let the smiles overflow. and be you in every moment you got. Don't wait for no one to tell you who you are. Don't wait for someone to define the path you take. You are who you are. You are enough. You are the uniqueness of life. Don't be ashamed of the choices you make. Embrace life with all it brings. Step onto the stage and let you be seen, and live with everything you got. Don't wait for no one to tell you who you are. Don't wait for someone to define the path you take. You are, you are enough. You are the uniqueness of life. You are the uniqueness of life. You are the best of you. You are the only you. You are who you are. You are enough. You are who you are. You are enough. You are all the uniqueness of life. Ooh. You are a uniqueness of life.
Wow, Charlie.
Thank you.
Today's you are the uniqueness of life. If nothing, take this home, Charlie, tonight. Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Clean. Thank you so much.
Great.
All right, so for Diamond to have his last performance, he would like to take words from 3 words. It is.
Yeah.
3. Okay, all right. So just pour in random words. Anybody, just put in a chat box or just unmute and just mention. Wow, but that was a beautiful song. And Charlie, and the words in it reaches straight to the heart and to the soul. You are the uniqueness of life. In spite of all you've been through, in spite of the hurdles, Charlie, you are still here. That's most important. Yeah, you are still here, regardless. Charlie, we are still here.
Regardless.
Yeah, seed. Okay. So that's your first word, seed. All right, Diamond, seed. Yeah?
Yeah. So two more words.
Uniqueness from a former. Last one. Uniqueness. You are the uniqueness of life. Uniqueness. Seed, uniqueness. Last one. Quick. Who's dropping the last one? Shadow. All right, nice.
Shadow. Okay.
Seed, uniqueness, shadow. All right, so let's go. Take us on.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn off my video. Yeah, I'm going to just turn off my video. Yeah, that's just
nice. Anyhow.
I hope that's fine though.
Great.
Yeah. Now let's talk about reality. Let's face life. Let's take a walk across the street and not worry about the cars that are moving as though they were in a fast race. Let's just observe nature. See the seed beyond the huge oak tree that stands right ahead of you. Let's just realize how unique everything around us is. And let's understand that as much as everything is like us, every human, we too are unique. Wait, take a pause and reflect that at every point in time, at every given second, your shadow, though yours, is unique from the other. Because at the 12th hour, It stands right under your feet, and at the seat it stands either to your left or right, a little taller, probably fat or something. Let's just understand shadows and light. You see, basically, you plant a seed and then you get a giant tree or a creeping plant or something, but then it's still unique for its growth. And then you have shadows. You see, life cannot be taken away from the other. Basically, that's how we call it. And that is how I've come to understand things. It hurts to think I have a father because he disappeared a couple years back. Planted this simple seed in my mother's womb, and here I am, a unique man walking on the surface of the earth. Ironically, my most hated thing is to be compared to another. It hurts so bad. But then most often I find his shadows right behind me every time I walk, more than my shadows, because I feel like the shoes I wanted to walk in when I grow up, I dread now so much, and yet still I do not want to wear them as much as they fit, because this man lives way back in my back. You see, it hurts that he's the shadow that follows me. It hurts that he's the part of me that I do not want to live with, and yet I have to live with because I'm going to be a father. But then funny stories. Seeds, uniqueness, and shadows. Our memories and our thoughts could be the shadows that chase us all the rest of our lives, even beyond the shadows that light just places at our backs. But this seed my father planted, and as much as I hate him, gave this uniqueness. I destroyed mine in another woman's womb. It hurts, hey, but then I had to do it because that was the option. See, it's a story for another day, but I tell you that beauty is the very thing that causes you to make the sacrifice, causes you to hold on to the wind and trust not to be blown away, causes you to just take that decision without backing and still stand by it, because as much as people call you stupid, maybe you could actually convince them and tell them stupidity is less of a word. Add foolishness to it, and if the dictionary or encyclopedia could give you a perfect one, you combine both and call me. But hey, the lives we've destroyed and those we detest, the ones we prospectively feel we are, and the things we want to be, dreams only last in sleep, and visions are only seen in trances. But everything that from seed to uniqueness and growth, and then it brings a shadow, is done in reality and flesh. You don't just live in dreams, you sleep. You don't live in visions, you only live in a trance. But when the clock ticks and the day is bright, you've got to realize that you're that unique seed that gives the shadow that covers the beautiful things around you, just so they are not scorched by the sun's weightiness and anger. So fix the things around you and don't worry too much about the ones that were destroyed before you. Thank you.
So, Charlie, make I stand up to give you one. Wow, Charlie. And this was a black horse biennology. No joke, Charlie. And salutes to Sam Black, who started biennology and sparking fire, and it's somewhat ignited in many more. I thought it was just a Black Deji Ofusua. And now we have Diamond, Charlie, killing it on the biennology, Charlie. No joke, no joke, no joke. And how the words come so easily to some of you like that? Like, just like that, you just, man. It was so beautiful, and the wisdom you poured in right from your dome, Charlie, man. That was mad. Yeah, another before I agree with you. Mad, man. That was mad, Charlie. That was mad. That was mad. That was.
Yeah.
All right, so salute to Sir Black, who just joined the call. Yeah, man, he's been driving almost all day, you know, Charlie. He's driving from here to Afghanistan, you know. He's been called to resolve some conflict issues. So he's been driving, Charlie, through the sea, under the sea, through the mountains, everywhere, Charlie. But I'm glad he could still find time to join us. But that was super beautiful. That was super beautiful. I wish I could have a Fumwa read us the comments. But Fumwa, I don't know if you can still. Oh, okay. Nice. Sweet. All right. So if you could please do out the harness.
All right. Okay. I didn't join in early, so if I don't read yours, sorry. Okay, so starting from Italy, you sure know how to make us sad, eh? Nice sad keys. From the beginning, I knew he was going to make us cry anyway. Beautiful from Abotre. Tragic from I Am Done. Hi, Poetry Farm. Hi, guys. Miss you guys from Godin. Godin, we miss you too. We miss you too. I really admire how your pieces are and the way you say them from memory from Abotre. You know how to keep your audience attentive from I Am Done. Tragic. My imagination was on a spray. Ha ha ha. Beautiful from Italy. He has a good memory. Indeed, he has. From Ekia Godin. Yes, so at Ekia, that's from Abotre. Oh, from Italy. Major Yawao from I Am Done. Sounds like a personal thing to me from Ekia Godin. Is it true? At Godin, at Diamond. Is it true that it's personal? The Yawa thing, is it true it's personal?
Can I
Anyway, you answer later.
Sure.
From Italy, Diamond, who friend zoned you? Okay, answer. Who friend zoned you?
Them chow.
Them chow, eh? Natty, I shock. Side boys vice praise. Okay, Natty, I shock. Sad boys vice praise. From my
that was very mean. Very mean.
It wasn't me.
Sad boys.
And who is the president?
I don't know him yet.
Diamond.
Why the rush, though, Nazi? Can't we slow down and enjoy his beautiful pieces from Ikea Godin? Beautiful from Mama Kida. You are who you are. Lovely from Abutre. Such a beautiful voice from Ifumwa. That's to Italy. So Abutre says you are who you are. So it was lovely. And I said such a beautiful voice. That's to Italy. Okay, so beautiful from Italy. Very deep thinking, and you are unique. Thanks for bringing something I could feel from Mama Kiza to Diamond. Diamond King speaks from I Am Done. Good one from Abuche. Diamond indeed from Italy. Mad man with fire from Nana Kufo. So these are all the comments we had so far.
Sure.
Me, I knew he was going to make us cry anyway.
It wasn't too sad.
And he sure made us cry. He also gave us hope. And it also made us feel unique.
Yes.
And I see it's in your shot right now. It's 30. You think they watch the Ghana match. Make you cry. Charlie. So we reach the Black Stars. The best of wishes tonight as they take on their game, and we pray they win. Yes, so they'll win. So Charlie, straight up go Ghana on this one. They are bringing the AFCON home. I know people like someone like Italy will oppose, but then she has no choice. Yes, Ghana is bringing the cup home from Cameroon. Thank you very much, Charlie, and thank you guys all for being such a wonderful audience.
Thanks.
As always, and tonight has been it has been healing. Like you see that kind of thing, like more like a surgery where they cut you open and then they fix you again and you become better than you were before. That's exactly what happened here tonight with Charlie, with top surgeon Diamond Speaks, and also Italy also had to catch up. You also, man, Charlie, but that was super awesome session we just we just had. So Diamond, any last words from you? What do you have to say to your fans? You know, after. But here we don't have fans. Here we have family. You know, it's all family.
So the last thing is that
forgo watch the match.
Yeah. So for this year, it's a big plan. Basically, I'll be going to the studio a couple of times. I have a couple projects, that is Broken Bottles, and then a couple others. So yeah, the family should watch.
So what is with you and broken? Like what?
You know, so this list of stories, I call them Broken Bottles. Yeah, basically, that's what I call them, and then a lot more. And yeah, thanks family for the love, the push, and everything. His Royal Blackness, geez, I couldn't have a better person to learn from afar from, and the entire family, everyone on tonight as well. Thanks family for the love and beauty. Yeah.
Charlie, nice. So we have Diamond, aka Mr. Broken. Everything broke. You get broken heart, broken bottles, a broken album. Everything we have broken. Charlie, So it's do we have some few minutes still?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. All right. So say the landlord. I'll be like, Charlie, we get more time. I think that today the time no chow, but by God's grace, we have more time. Diamond, did you freeze? Someone just messaged me backstage. She says I shouldn't mention her name, but she still wants to hear a last piece from Diamond if he has any to serve. She says I shouldn't mention her name. I'm tempted to do so, but let me still respect. Yo, Diamond. Okay, Diamond is off. Nice, but Charlie. So you guys can turn on your microphones and let's vibe. Tell us how you felt like tonight. I saw one last comment come through. If you can get us for us. There are a few comments. Okay, they say Cameroon is winning. Okay, no. Okay. If I seen that earlier, I wouldn't have read. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I'll just ask next week. Charlie, me now said you think I read. I should have read that one.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Nice. All right. So just went by was D-Day, a picture of D-Day, who is our guest artist for next week. So I beg you guys, make no lose, make no miss out. Don't miss out. This brother is phenomenal. Yeah. If you were at the National Theatre last week, you would have you would have experienced his awesome art, Charlie. Fresh boy with super beautiful art. Yes, so like very soon we will do some matchup for the party because party there everything they happen some.
Cool idea. Yeah.
I would say quick idea. Be like, I would try to be on you. So I beg. If you did that,
Sorry.
let me I would try quickly embrace that. Say, yo, if you are good in.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
What's up, guys? Long time.
Good to hear your voice again. Yeah, man. Did you come with your wine tonight?
No. I sobered up tonight.
Charlie, I miss you and your wine.
Don't worry, soon.
So what happened to you? Because you seem to have just vanished. Small.
I was working. I've been good. I was working on my spiritual growth, so I had to cut off certain activities. But now I'm back to poetry because that's like my heartbeat. Yeah. So now I'm back.
Good to hear that, Charlie. And anytime you go, you come back better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've been recording new pieces as well. So yeah, I have fresh meat to serve.
Charlie, so it's Black, you guys have heard. So let's plan on having Ikea Godin very soon. So she comes serve her meat. Charlie, I can't wait. So bring your cutlery. Anytime you hear Ikea Godin is up, come with your cutlery, your fork and knife. You can bring your Sophie and things.
The hot
Things,
sauce. Don't forget the hot sauce to spice it up.
You know.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah, man. All right. So that's good to hear. Good to hear, Charlie. Good to hear. And we pray this happens for more of the family members. Charlie, pour yourself out there. Only one life to live. Whatever you have to empty yourself. Empty yourself. Those of you who are keeping the things inside of you. So you heard Ikea Golden, Diamond. They are all recording, coming out to their pieces. I beg. Stop keeping it inside of you. I am done. Stop keeping it inside of you. Bring it out. Italy. Bring them out. Who's up there? Abutre. Okay, Abutre has a studio. Let me mention this. Yes, Abutre. He told me about this personally. He's ready to record anyone who is willing and has something and wants to get it on record. Abutre is there for you for free, Charlie. I mean, for free, no joke. Yes. So if you feel that vibe, you can link up. Nana Kufuor, stop keeping that fire inside. See, I don't know how this guy keeps it. This guy is a Dragon Ball, no joke. First time I saw him on National Theatre, man. No joke. So those of you keeping inside of you, kindly bring them out. Yes, and let me mention, Ohima Makida is also writing her book. So very soon, you have a slice of Ohima Makida's book. Okay, she's off the call now. All right, but let me still make that announcement. So you look out for it. Nice. So Itlin. Okay, I see Itlin. So for those of you who don't know Itlin, that's Itlin right there. I am done also in your short, also in also live. It's why he also here. I beg you guys for mute too. That's why they talk plenty. So you guys do the mute then talk.
Okay, I'm here.
When is Ghana playing tonight?
Okay, so this is Evening.
This is a part two. You guys for Bible. Because even though it's a virtual space, things still can happen. So I tell people from experience.
And please, I had one of the ladies talking about the fact that she's from the different country that Ghana is playing with. Is it true?
Yes, Italy.
Okay. Oh, please, I'm from Cameroon, and trust me,